In the beginning, there was a god tortoise and an evil hare. And one day, they met up to set up a final score to see who could run the land forever. So since the tortoise is a god, he let the hare pick the challenge. The hare picked the most difficult challenge that he knew. He knew the tortoise wouldn't win if he chose to race. So the hare says, "We're going to race." The tortoise with a mean look. The tortoise says, "All right, I agree to that challenge." So the tortoise called someone that just came out of retirement, which was Larry Bird. And he asked him to help him win the race because he knew he was slow. Meanwhile, at the evil dungeon, the hare had something in mind too. He called the man of all men, Michael Jordan. The hare promised Michael Jordan a full retirement plan if they won the race. The very next day, the tortoise and the hare worked on one half of the track while the other worked on the other. The tortoise in Ohio and the hare in Florida. They're supposed to meet in the middle and race around. So the tortoise builds his track with snow and mountains to make the hare slow down and get cold. And the hare builds his tracks out of sticks and stones because he was used to walking on stuff like that, unlike the tortoise. So they finally got done, and they finally met in Alabama. And the hare automatically cheated, and before the race gave Air Jordan to MJ to make him run faster and jump higher. And he gave Larry a magical sleeping potion to make him tired and sluggish. So the race was on. MJ and the hare speeded faster than Larry and the tortoise, and Larry and the tortoise started off very slow motion. The hare was running for a very long time in the forest, and by the time he got halfway, he stopped for a little nap. Because he knew he was so far ahead, so the tortoise knew he was slow, and he also knew Larry was under the magical pill. So he used wisdom instead of evil. He decided to move the mountain to the other side and get past the river, but needed Larry to get him there, so the god tortoise prayed and threw a magical spell. I foo, I poo, I loo. And Larry got stronger and faster and jumped high and far across the river, and they seen the hare and MJ sleeping and jumped right past him. Meanwhile, a couple of hours later, the hare and MJ woke up and had a magic ball to see where the tortoise and Larry was. They found out where they were. There were three forests there, so the hare went to the tortoise mainland and burnt it down. But the tortoise knew he did this and made another prayer. I foo, I poo, I live. And while the hare and MJ was burning up everything, they started to feel the heat themselves and started to burn up with the fire. When the hare felt this, he tried to put a potion on it to make it stop. But it was already a magic potion on him to keep him continuous burning. And the hare burned down with the city. So after the tortoise won the race and finished it, he was carried by a lot of people back to his hometown. The tortoise cried and sobbed. Then Larry thought with his retirement money, he could help rebuild his hometown. And while the tortoise went into his shell, and after about a year, Larry and everybody in town built his mainland back and built it out of sticks and stones. But it was more sentimental than anything. And the tortoise ruled the land forever.